Welcome back to our topic, that is the remaining portion of myocardial infarction. In last lecture, we have seen about introduction, then etiopathogenesis and its type of infarct, morphology, most important topic. We have covered this. Now coming to most important topic. Now that is the diagnosis. Diagnosis of MI by clinical features. Typically, acute MI has a sudden onset. Uh, 10 to 15% cases have a asymptomatic, that is known as silent MI, which is discovered only by ECG new Q wave. Pain will be typical, which is sudden, severe, crushing, and prolonged, substernal or precordial in location, which is unrelieved by rest or nitroglycerin, and it is often radiating to one or both arms and neck and back. Radiating pain is important feature. Indigestion in the form of heartburn, which is epigastric or substernal discomfort with nausea and vomiting, accompanied by sweating, breathlessness, and palpitation. Apprehension because of great fear of death. Shock will be there. There is a systolic blood pressure below 80 mm of Hg, and the signs and symptoms of shock: oliguria, low grade fever, mild rise in temperature occurs within 24 hours and lasts up to 1 week with leukocytosis and elevated ESR. Signs and symptoms of acute pulmonary edema. This is all about clinical features. Second changes, that is ECG changes, which is the one of the most important parameter, which is non-invasive, inexpensive, and rapid. ECG changes in the form of ST segment elevation or depression, that is seen in acute MI with deep symmetric T wave inversion and appearance of wide deep Q waves. Persistent elevation of ST segment differentiate ST elevation MI from unstable angina and non-ST segment elevation MI. Normal ECG, remember this, normal ECG does not exclude the cardiac ischemia or MI. Third, by serum cardiac markers. Certain proteins and enzymes are released into the blood from necrotic heart muscles and acute MI. Measurement of their levels in serum is helpful in making a diagnosis and plan management. Now, first, that is a CK and CKMB. CK has three forms: CKMB, which is derived from skeletal muscle; BB, which is derived from brain and lungs; MB, mainly from cardiac muscles and insignificant amount from extracardiac tissue. Thus, CKMB isoenzyme is very specific for myocardial damage. This CKMM, that is seen in skeletal muscle, which is more than 95% of total. MB, that is seen in myocardial tissue, less than 5% of total, and BB, that is 0% of total approximately. This CK starts rise within the 3 to 8 hours after MI and peaks at 10 to 24 hours and returns to normal by 3 to 4 days. Here this graph show this total CK starts to rise within the 3 to 8 hours and peak approximately at 12 to 16 hours, and this returns to normal by 3 to 4 days. Now coming to CKMB, it has high concentration in cardiac muscle, up to 25% of total CK, low concentration in non-cardiac tissue. It begins to increase in blood after MI 3 to 8 hours and peak in the blood 24 hours after MI and returns to normal by little early than CK, total CK, that is by 2 to 3 days. Normal range will be less than 4 nanogram per ml. CKMB has further two forms. CKMB2, that is more specific for myocardial, and CKMB1, that is an extra cardiac form. A ratio of CKMB2 2 is 2 CKMB1 above 1.5. It is a highly sensitive for the diagnosis of acute MI after the 4 to 6 hour of onset of myocardial ischemia. CKMB disappears from the blood by 48 hours. Since CKMB is found in both cardiac muscles and skeletal muscle, damage to either may increase the serum level of CKMB. A measurement known as relative index is used to distinguish cardiac from skeletal muscle damage. This RI is if it is more than 5%, which is consistent with myocardial damage, and this ratio is derived by CKMB upon total CK into 100. This graph shows relationship between total CK and total CKMB. This is total CK and this is CKMB. Now coming to cardiac specific troponins. Troponins are contractile muscle proteins present in human cardiac and skeletal muscle. But cardiac troponins are specific for myocardium. There are two types of troponins, troponin T and troponin I. Both trop T and trop I are not found in the blood normally, but after myocardial injury, their levels rise very high around the same time when CKMB is elevated, means after 4 to 6 hours of MI. Both troponin level remain high for much longer duration. Troponin I for 7 to 10 days and trop T, that is for 10 to 14 days. Here the graph show troponin, which is rise after 4 to 6 hours, and peak will be seen at 16 hours, and it is a more prolonged seen in the blood. Myoglobin is the only heme protein in the cardiac myocytes, usually released more rapidly into blood than any other cardiac marker because of its small size. Myoglobin may rise within the first 1 to 3 hours following MI, peak at 6 to 9 hours, and returns to normal within the first 24 hours since it is rapidly excreted into the urine. This graph show this is a myoglobin, early rise and early returns to normal. Then CKMB, this is a graph of this line show CKMB. Now coming to LDH. Total LDH estimation also lacks specificity since this enzyme is present in various tissues beside myocardium, such as in skeletal muscle, kidneys, liver, lungs, and red blood cells. There are two isoforms of LDH are there. LDH1 is myocardial specific. The ratio of LDH1 is to LDH2 is more than 1. Then it makes a diagnosis of MI. LDH begins to rise after 1 day of MI and reach peaks to approximately 3 to 6 days and returns to normal approximately within 14 days. Now coming to cardiac, this is the chart showing cardiac biomarkers with rise, peak and decline to normal. CKMB decline to normal within 2 to 3 days. This is MCQ question. Myoglobin is the earliest marker, which is a rise within 1 to 3 hours of acute MI. And this LDH remains for longer duration, which decline to normal at 14 days. Now some important points regarding this biomarker. Cardiac markers are not required for treatment decision of Q-wave infarction, which is associated with persistent thrombotic occlusion of coronary artery. In that, treatment should be aimed to restore blood flow to damaged myocardium as soon as possible. No currently used cardiac specific serum marker meets all the criteria for an ideal marker of acute MI. No test is both highly sensitive and highly specific for acute MI within 6 hours following the onset of chest pain. Utility of each marker depends upon the time of collection of specimen after the onset of acute MI. So the serial measurement is important to rule out the diagnosis of MI, because single measurement of markers should not be used in emergency to rule out MI. These enzymes are markers of myocardial infarction, not ischemia. Other causes of cell death can release them, like myocarditis, cardiac surgery without ischemic death. This is the most important information. Routinely, this MCQ question will be asked. The earliest enzyme to increase after MI is myoglobin. Most sensitive and specific marker, that is troponin, and more specifically that is TROP-I. Flipping LDH means LDH more than LDH2. Normally LDH2 is greater than LDH1. Base biomarker for myocardial reinfarction, that is a TROP-I. Other methods, that is a serum C-reactive protein, which predict the risk of MI in patients of angina and the risk of new infarcts in patients who recover from infarcts. More than 3 mg per liter, which suggests high risk of CVD, and 1 to 3 mg per liter suggests moderate risk. ECG, angiography, MRI are other modalities. Now coming to new definition of MI, which is given by ESC, that is European Society of Cardiology, and ACC, that is American College of Cardiology. The criteria for acute, evolving or recent MI are either of the following criteria is used. First, that is a typical increase and decrease in the biochemical markers of myocardial necrosis, cardiac troponins and CPK-MB with at least one of the following: typical symptoms of myocardial ischemia, development of new Q waves on the ECG, ECG changes indicative of myocardial ischemia, coronary artery intervention either in the form of percutaneous or surgical, and second, that is a pathologic changes of an acute MI. Second, that is a criteria for established MI. These are the criteria, above criteria, that is for recent MI. This is now we are discussing the criteria for established MI. Any one of the following criteria used: development of new Q waves on serial ECG. The patient may or may not remember previous symptoms. Biochemical markers of myocardial necrosis may have normalized depending on the time that has passed since this infarction developed. Pathologic signs of healed or healing MI. Now coming to complications. 80 to 90% cases develop a one or more major complication, some of which are fatal. The immediate mortality from acute MI, that is from sudden cardiac death, it is at 25%. Now coming to most common complication, that is arrhythmia. It is due to ischemic injury or irritation to the conductive system resulting in abnormal rhythm in the form of sinus bradycardia, atrial fibrillation, premature systole, and the most serious ventricular fibrillation, which is responsible for sudden cardiac death. Second important complication, that is which is seen in 50% of patients with MI, that is congestive heart failure in the form of right ventricular failure or LVAF or both. This CHF develop responsible for about 40% death from acute MI. Then cardiogenic shock, about 10% patient develop cardiogenic shock, and signs and symptoms of shock means there is a decrease in blood pressure, systolic blood pressure below 80 mm of Hg for many days, and oliguria, mental confusion. Mural thrombosis and thromboembolism. The incidence in the leg vein is 15 to 45% in the cases of acute MI, which is a major cause of death in 12% cases. This is due to involvement of endocardium and subendocardium in the infarct and due to slowing of the heart rate. Another source of thromboembolism is the venous thrombosis in the leg veins due to prolonged bed rest. Now coming to myocardial rupture, which is seen in up to 5% cases of acute MI. This rupture occurs more often from the infarcted ventricular wall into the pericardial cavity, which causing hemopericardium and cardiac tamponade through the interventricular septum and the rupture of a papillary muscle in infarct of the left ventricle. 5% patient of acute MI develop aneurysm, often of left ventricle. It occurs in the heel infarct through thin, fibrous and non-elastic scar tissue. Cardiac aneurysm impair the function of the heart and are common site for mural thrombi. Sterile pericarditis appears on about the second day and common over the transmural infarct, which is characterized by fibrinous type of pericarditis and may be associated with pericardial effusion. It resolves spontaneously. MCQ question: Dressler syndrome, that is a post myocardial infarction syndrome, which is developed in 3 to 4% of patients, which is characterized by pneumonitis and usually occurs 1 to 6 weeks after the attack of MI. Pathogenesis is not known, but it is due to autoimmune reaction. Infarct extension, infarct expansion, right ventricular infarction, papillary muscle dysfunction, and progressive late heart failure are the still more complications. Now coming to summary. Ischemic heart disease is acute or chronic cardiac disability which is arising from imbalance between the myocardial supply and the demand for oxygenated blood. Atherosclerotic coronary artery disease is the most common cause of IHD. Most commonly involved, that is LAD, other are RCA, that is right coronary, and circumflex artery. They are superimposed changes on the plaque. Acute coronary syndrome include the triad of acute myocardial infarction, unstable angina, and sudden cardiac death. Angina pectoris result from the transient myocardial ischemia and is characterized by paroxysmal pain in the substernal or precordial region. Acute MI is the most important and feared consequences of coronary artery disease. Early thrombolytic therapy within 30 minutes of occurrence may help in restoration of blood supply. The gross and microscopic changes in the myocardial infarction, which is most often seen in left ventricle and is vary according to the age of infarct. The diagnosis of acute MI is made by clinical features, ECG changes, and serum enzyme determination. Chronic ischemic heart disease is focal or diffuse fibrosis in the myocardium, which is characteristically found in elderly patient or progressive IHD. Sudden death by myocardial ischemia is almost always by fatal arrhythmia, chiefly ventricular asystole or fibrillation. Thank you. In cardiovascular system, the most important topic are atherosclerosis, second that is infective endocarditis, rheumatic heart disease, and myocardial infarction. We have a specimen of myocardial infarction and atherosclerosis. These 4 topics are routinely asked in your theory exam. Myocardial infarction, there is a question of autopsy also. Then 1 mark question from rheumatic heart disease can be asked. Okay, now thank you. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. You are most welcome.